from the Next Issue podcast. Before we begin, this will be a review for the latest episode of The Voice. Now, up at the top of the episode, this episode actually had a content warning, so I feel like I should also express the same content warning as I will be talking about the same topics discussed in this episode. So, the warning reads like this. The series deals with sensitive issues, including death by suicide, and contains scenes that could be sexual, graphic, or taboo in nature. No living people or animals were harmed and coerced. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. So normally we get a similar warning, but I think because of the content of self harm in this episode, I definitely wanted to make sure that that was uh, covered up top. But now that being said, yeah, we'll be doing a review of the episode 7 of The Boys, and I mean this show continues to amaze me every turn. I'm so excited. I was able to watch it almost immediately, which is why I'm able to bring this review so fast. But yeah, this episode really is starting to tie up a lot of things. We have a huge reveal at the end of the episode, which I'll go into once I get into spoilers. But if you're not watching The Boys, I highly recommend it. It is probably the one of the best comic TV adaptations. I guess I wouldn't know how faithful of an adaptation it is. I think it changes a lot of the things from the comics, but I think just what it does with the material, it elevates it and makes it a lot more. It just gives it a lot of depth that I don't know that we would have had from the comic. So yeah, I will be going into spoilers now. So here's your spoiler warning. If you are not caught up on The Boys, I'll be talking about everything pretty much from episode 1 through 7 of season 3. Yeah, so in this episode, like I said, we got a bunch of things coming up. I'll leave the big reveal towards the ending, but we have a few storylines that are still being plotted. First of all, let's give us a little update on Maeve. So Homelander does have Maeve trapped someplace. We don't know; it's an undisclosed location, but definitely something that he can control very closely. And the reason he's keeping Maeve alive is because he wants to, I guess, genetically manufacture a kid between, between his genetics and Maeve's, and that because he believes that would make a powerful soup, which definitely makes sense. I think they're two of the strongest in the series. So next, let's move on to A Train. So A-Train's storyline continues to be pretty messed up. In the last episode, we saw that Blue Hawk, he finally was able to, I guess, get revenge for what he did to his brother. But because his heart gave out when he was running, he did get a new heart. It does come from a soup. They use Blue Hawk's heart to implant it into A-Train, so he will, in theory, should be able to heal and then also use his super speed again. So we'll see how that goes. I think I like the journey that Adrian's been on, but I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he was losing or had lost his ability to run safely. So I'm really, I guess, curious to see how the character will evolve, if it does at all. Will he continue on this path of maybe trying to have some redemption, or will he kind of go back to some of his old ways? Really interesting stuff there. I think the portrayal is great. I think Ashley, who is excellent. Like anytime she's on screen, I think second to Homelander, she's probably giving the most deranged portrayal in the series. Um, we also catch up with Black Noir. We get to learn a lot, and I really love the way this whole episode was really about a lot of these characters confronting their past trauma. And in Black Noir, we get a lot of exposition as to what really happened in Nicaragua when the Russians took Soldier Boy. So we learn via some animated recreations. Like I said, Black Noir is very much messed up, but he's trying to deal with it, trying to come to grip with what may happen to him in the future. But we learned that it was actually Vought that finally pulled the trigger on getting rid of Soldier Boy. So his team betrayed him, but that was not without consequence. which kind of leads us to where Black Noir is now. So we'll see. I think he will be a big part of the confrontation next week, or maybe in the I believe next week is in the last episode. I thought the series was going to be 8, so we'll see. But yeah, Black Noir is on another path to definitely a collision with Soldier Boy. Um, so next, let's talk about my favorite couple in this show, Kimiko and Frenchie. I mean, my goodness, their relationship is just it. It almost feels like it doesn't belong in the series. But yeah, they're great together. I think they're really two characters that really care about each other. And it although it feels out of place, it's still nice to have some good stuff happen, kind of. But Kimiko does come to a decision that she needs her powers back, and in order to protect Frenchie after all the events from last week. So she asked Annie to get some V from the compound or from Vought, which Annie's definitely able to. Annie is so resourceful at using pretty much everything that she still has. Right, she has the popularity, she has access to Vought, so very much fun. We do see a confrontation with Homelander as she's trying to get the V, but very cleverly she uses social media, and which is really kind of his weakness. It seems like that's Homelander's only weakness, other than some like other than a bunch of people teaming up against him. Um, so yeah, so Kimiko does get the V, and it looks like her powers are back. So we'll see what that means going forward to the rest of the series. Um, I and like I said, there's some really tender moments between her and Frenchie. So I do want to also touch on Mother's Milk. I think Mother's Milk is the underrated MVP of the season, because he's also, like I said, there's a lot of dealing with trauma in this series, and Mother Milk is definitely one of them. He's dealing with the trauma of like what happened, what Soldier Boy did to his family. Um, so, and now he also has to deal with his daughter's stepdad being a Homelander fanboy and just kind of believing everything all the hate he's spewing, all the lies. Um, so we do have a confrontation there. So I think there'll be some ramifications for Mother's Milk, as he struck Todd. I believe Todd is the name of the guy who's now his daughter's stepdad. So we'll see how that goes. And then finally we have the main event with Butcher, Hughie, and Soldier Boy. They're all kind of interwoven through these stories, because we do find out when Annie is taking the compound V, she does discover that the V24 that they're taking for temporary powers will kill their test subjects after 3 to 5 doses. As far as I've been keeping track, on today's episode, Huey takes the third one, and Butcher may have taken the third or fourth one. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Soldier Boy. As always, some raunchy stuff happens because it's Soldier Boy. This man out of time, old man. Like it's weird because he's saying things we would expect. I mean, he's from a different generation, so the way he expresses himself definitely feels odd, and sometimes it's just pretty messed up. Um, but Jensen Ackles is just such a fun. He's playing the role so well. It's really hard for me to like hate Soldier Boy. They're really trying to make me not like the character though. Um, but yeah, in this episode, they go against Mindstorm, who is one of the other people on the team. We saw the TNT twins last weekend, or last week. We saw that Black Noir was part of that team, and then his sidekick was killed by Butcher, so no more worrying about him. So he's the last target before Black Noir. And yeah, he uses his powers on Butcher, and this is kind of where we get to those events that I talked about in the content warning. Butcher, we finally find out what's going on and what happened to Lenny, his younger brother. As we met his dad in the previous season, we know that he abused them as kids, and after Butcher left, that led his brother to commit suicide. Um, and we learn all this through Mindfront or Mindstorm putting Butcher, trapping him in his mind using his powers, right? So that's kind of sequences that we play in and out. Luckily, Huey's able to get Mindstorm to release Butcher from this mind prison. And this is kind of where everything comes to a boil. Like Soldier Boy finally catches up with Mindstorm, but Mindstorm reveals something to Soldier Boy that we don't find out what it is until the end of the episode. So this is the big spoiler here. If you don't, if you watch this long, and you really don't want to know this one, definitely go watch the episode. But Homelander receives a phone call from Soldier Boy, and it looks like what Mindstorm told Soldier Boy was that they use his genetic material to create Homelander. So pretty much Soldier Boy is Homelander's dad. So crazy stuff, and that's what he reveals to Homelander. Now, we know from knowing Homelander that his big insecurity is about being alone and having no one really, right? So I am really, really scared as to what's going to happen when the two most powerful Supes maybe start working together. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. We kind of were left with that impression at the end of the episode. But you guys, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have read the comics. Like, I know this is way different, but you can let us know down in the comments how you think this adaptation is going, how you like the story, the things they've changed. But yeah, it's really, really interesting. It's also really fun to hear Giancarlo Esposito being voice an animated weasel who's pretending to be Stan Edgar. Um, the last thing I'll say, the senator did give Homelander some information. I believe it is the location of his son, so maybe we'll have three different generations reunited with the Homelander family, which, man, that can be scary. So, as always, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Sundays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned because we have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.